good everyone, Organized Video. Today we have just a bit of a look back, really. This is what this is going to be. As you'll probably notice, I'm recording this on the 14th and this will be going out on the 16th. But this is essentially a brief look back at 2 years of doing YouTube overall. I mean, I know it says 1 year, but these will soon start ticking over to two once the 16th rolls by. So I thought, how can I really celebrate this? How can I really look back and explain what, like, just look at what's changed over the time? And I thought, what better way than to just go back through, look at the analytics of how we've done, look at the current stats of how we've done, and just see what's changed over the 2 years, really. Now, of course, I will be doing a brief section on the Discord server as well, so feel free to stick around for that. And if you want a link, just put it in the comments below and I will give you a link to it. So, when I first started, I think I had like 4 subs. That gives you an idea. I don't know how I got them. Probably because I left comments every so often on like Jamonkey's channel, on I think I used to leave some on DTT's channel before his obviously went bust, and well, I say bust. He got hacked and then he just gave up because he didn't want to continue. So yeah, that's really where it all started. And the main reason why I started with the video that you see there, the my record in Tank RB 19 kills in the M301 Stuart, was because I thought, well, I don't think people are going to want to see me on a big channel seal clubbing. They'll probably think I do it 24/7. So I thought, why don't I just upload it myself? And that's exactly what I did. The software I used, I think, well, it wasn't OBS because I didn't use OBS at that time. I don't remember what software I used for it. Then I started using OBS the moment I got to the RA 2001 video, which you can see there. Obviously, there's a Spitfire on the thumbnail, but I've got an RA 2001 in the corner there. But I started using OBS not long after the Stuart because I just realized that the recording software that I used for the Spit or the Stuart just wasn't cutting it because it just felt a bit too clunky and the footage didn't look amazing. And yeah, you get the idea. Then, of course, we just went on through time, just reviewing aircraft, because that's what I decided to start doing, is reviewing spaded aircraft. Because one thing I've noticed is not many people tended to do it. And as you can tell, it has worked out for the most part. I mean, this is not an amazing video, I'll say that right now. I mean, it's still one that I don't regret putting out. But at the same time, I wish I could go back and make this one better, so to speak. Same with the RA 2001 and the SM91. But then, of course, as you go through, I tried other games, like just putting in every so often, like the Crew 2, when I encountered a very funny bug, which that bug was hilarious, and I don't think it's been patched to this day. Then obviously I went through and just started spade reviewing, because obviously Italian tanks had not long come out when I started. So I thought, okay, let's go through and let's do some reviews on vehicles because maybe people want to see those, and clearly they did. But then, of course, we have the start of the scumbag alerts. I still remember when I used to use that thumbnail before we used the one we have now. Oh dear, that was a good time. I think I still have a hate comment on this one, the 4732, because I put a part of shit on the thumbnail, which not well, they didn't like it. Let's put it that way. Then, of course, we have the clubbers, where I actually met a former subscriber and a former squad mate with Derp Angel, who it says Archangel, but his name's now Derp Angel. Then, of course, you have some of the terrible thumbnails that I did back in the day. I'll admit they were a bit shit. So I'm probably gonna go back and change these, to be brutally honest, because they just don't seem to be like they're not great, and I'd rather change them for the better, to be brutally honest. I mean, to be fair, these videos haven't gotten views for a while, but it's still better to do it anyway. Then, of course, in this would have been, when was this? January the 10th. So that was when I first did my first live video. God, that was a while ago, wasn't it? God, that's gone up to 2 years itself, and it's rapidly approaching. Then, of course, I did a couple of skin grind videos, which some people like those, and things like that, and obviously more reviews. First impressions on the Semavente 7518, and I put a snail because it was that slow. Had another dumbass alert and things like that, planes and tanks that I wanted to see added, which I'm probably going to bring this back, to be brutally honest. I'm probably going to bring this back over the coming weeks, because there's still quite a lot that I want to see added to the game, and personally, I would want that to happen just because I'd want to see what's changed and what has been added from these lists that I'd rewatch these, and same for the premium stuff that you can see down here, which is just down here. This would also be taken into account, so I could do more planes, tanks, and then premium planes and tanks that I'd want to see added. Because some of these have actually been added for the most part. Obviously, there's still some that are not added yet, but you get the idea. Then, of course, I'm thinking of updating the premium plane and premium tank collection, and you never know, you could have like a 30-second video on naval, because I have like two naval premium ships, which I don't think I've ever played. So yeah, I'm just looking back through it. It's just bringing back memories because at the end of the day, if you're new to the channel and you've not seen this yet, this may be something that you may not have seen before. Obviously, a couple of memes from South Park and things like that I use for some thumbnails. Um, but then obviously, as you go down, you'll notice I started using historical images, or at least real life images for the vehicles. That's what I prefer to do for the most part. But obviously, that was one where I encountered Bowtime Gaming being a bit of a questionable player, is all I will say. Then obviously we had replays when Derp Angel had to give up War Thunder for a bit, and it just went from there, and I just kept going and going and going. Eventually got to a cheater alert, which we had to do. I think there was one before that. Uh, which one was it? Yeah, here it is. My Night Owl, and there was one more. Here it is, Hazat Captain. We actually managed to get this guy banned because of this video going out, so that was pretty good to see. But anyway, let's move on from the videos, because if you've been around for at least a year, you would have seen this stuff. But if you want to go back and look for yourself, all you need to do, just to help you who may not know, all you have to do is press sort by and then press date added oldest. You can also check out things like the most popular, where my most popular video is 4.5k views, which I don't know, it's got that many to be honest. But then, of course, you can look at date added newest if you've not seen today's video. Well, I say today's, it'll be 2 days old by the time this video comes out. But Fleagle's BF109, obviously people love the dumb comments. I can promise you this, more dumb comments will come eventually. It's just whether I get them or not, because I've not had any for a couple of weeks. So there you go. But of course, that's just in case you weren't sure of what I meant. So let's move on to the analytics. As you can tell, the analytics it's been pretty consistent throughout the months, obviously, well, the coming days. We're at about 298 views to about 400, middle of 400. And obviously there is a slight spike on November the 16th. Obviously I could go into more detail about this, but there's no real need. Um, these have been really just going up and down throughout the week. So it's been consistent. We've been sticking between about 298 views to about 450, and I think that's not bad for a channel of my size. The only thing that I'm concerned about is the fact that people aren't actually hitting the notification bell, but obviously I can't force you to do that, so that's no big deal. But overall, the channel has been growing at a good rate. Obviously, we've slowed down a bit now as the year's been coming to an end, because that's just how it is, unfortunately. But if you look what I mean, here you can see the total number of subscribers who actually have all notifications on, sort of click this little bell icon. And as you can tell, only 173 out of 831. That's 20.8%. I would love to see that number rise, but obviously I cannot force people to do that. Then we'll just go to one of my favorite websites to check analytics and things like that, and that is Socialblade. This may be familiar to those who watch YouTubers like what's his name? Tipster, Drama Alert, things like that. This is really where I tend to check the analytics and just get an idea for what has been going on, things like that. Obviously, if I just press full analytics, this will give you an idea for the last month, because obviously it's the 14th today, and it won't have, well, it will have a live counter. But as you can tell, the channel has slowly been growing throughout the coming days. Obviously, we lost one sub. I think when was that? That when would that have been? I don't know. But even you can see, like, not every day you're gonna get subscribers, and that's the thing about having a small channel. You're never guaranteed to get subscribers, but that's no big deal. This one here was from the dumb comments. Clearly, someone could not take a bit of banter because that's all that video was for. It was not meant to be taken seriously. It was purely for a bit of banter. So if you're that snowflake who unsubscribed purely because of a bit of a laugh, please just grow up, is all I will say. But as you can see, it's saying here, this is a good way to actually keep track of everything. Is it should say I should reach 833 subs about, well, by around tomorrow. We'll have to see, but even so, I was hoping to hit at least 500 by the end of this year, and as you can tell, we've blown past that. So that's at least something. Anyway, now that that's done, let's go take a look at the Discord server and see how much that has changed over 2 years. I'll see you all in a minute. So here we are on the Discord. Obviously, the Discord has changed ever since I put it out at 100 subscribers. And here is a fun fact. I made this Discord server from the ground up. I made that purely on my own with a bit of assistance from Derp Angel. Obviously, he wasn't known at that time as Derp Angel. He was known as Dark Angel. But one thing I will say is that this Discord server is far different from the Discord server that it first started as. We didn't have things like this, like published videos where I put my videos, Harry Feet's videos where he puts his, which I love the cat. Left Ventricle, he doesn't upload often, but he's still there. Then obviously we have a affiliate with It's Rainy Boy and his Discord server. I think it's this one is his Discord. But then of course we have the Welcome Peasants because this is a kingdom. This is no normal Discord server. That's just a running gag. But then obviously over the years we've adapted and changed it to like laws of the kingdom and things like that, just to add a bit more character to the server really. But then of course we have the rules, which I'll let you lot read that in your own time. We have the entertainment, which I used to do things like this, where I'd snip what's coming up and post what's in there, like what's coming up. I still remember that flipping A13 video. That was a devastating, like that was a mess. But now I'm just doing things like this. Like obviously you'll see this. Well, you'll see this today, of course, but not today as I record it. But you get the idea. Then of course we have the announcements page, and we have had our fair share of people who've been causing trouble. As you can tell, we've had a player named, well, a guy named Sheffy. We've had a couple of other instances throughout the time period. Obviously, I'm not gonna reference the one that you may have seen there. That's for your own time to pause and look at. I'm not I'm not wanting to give the person shit because he does appear in the comments, but let's just say some things have been happening behind the scenes that I'm not going to share yet unless I absolutely have to. But then, of course, we've had guys who've been, what's the word, anti-Semite or anti-Semite or something like that. It's a fancy word, but we've had people like that. But of course, we even get the occasional vote on the Discord server. I voted for people, do you want to see the I-16 or do you maybe want to take a chance at getting a CR32 Biz, 112 or Lagerdurp, or maybe even the Boston? And I let the people decide and we got the 112, so that review will be coming eventually. But then of course we just have general chatter, like discussions and things like that. We have a relatively new channel, where we let people post wild animals, Like this bird here, I think it's a tit, is what that bird is. But you've of course got animals like cats and things like that, and it's just something to add a bit more character. Then here's one that Harry loves to contribute to, is the Market of the Kingdom, and this is where we post things um like free games that are on offer, like on the Epic Games Store. And Harry always keeps track of these, and he posts them whenever they come out. So if you ever want to get free games, if you're getting a bit tired of War Thunder and you need something new to play, do check in here. There's plenty of games on offer, and that's just the way it is. But then, of course, we have the War Thunder general chat. This is probably the most active chat, to be brutally honest. And then, of course, we have War Thunder usernames, where if you're going into the Squadding Up chat, like Papa Stalin and Munchkin currently are, this is where you put your username. We didn't used to have this, and we did have a War Thunder general chat about a year ago, but we didn't have usernames, aircraft and tank nicknames, things like that. Speaking of the aircraft and tank nicknames, once it loads, because my internet's been a bit weird, yeah, I bet you're wondering what's happened here. Someone was just spamming, and that was Sheffy. He got banned eventually. People got tired of his shit. Actually happened whilst I was asleep because I slept until 10:30, and yeah. But this is where we keep nicknames that people want to suggest for vehicles. Obviously, there have been some dumb ones added in, but can't really stop that. This is a relatively newish one where we keep posts of people who are team killing, being douchebags, etc. And obviously, I put my fair share of stuff in here. You've got you've just got general people who we keep track of, and that way we can at least go, we recognize him, we better keep an eye on him. And obviously, if an incident occurs that I would deem to be important, I would do a video on it. This is a relatively new one, which this has been rather quiet for a little bit. Obviously, people are looking, well, people don't tend to like to show their skills and stuff like that. But this is where you can put your Thunder skill stats and things like that. Nothing really to mention here. This is also a relatively new one where we would post, well, you lot would post screenshots or clips, obviously not YouTube videos because that's against one of the rules. You're allowed to clip things and things like that, but not full on YouTube videos from your own channel. I could go into that and why we do that, but I won't. There's no point. If you want to know, just join the server and I'll answer any questions you have. This is also a relatively new one, game discussion, where we just put in games that we don't really like. Well, we don't discuss in the discussion for the kingdom, but you want to discuss games. This is where you do it. As you'll notice, last night I was playing Pokemon Ultra Sun and I encountered a hilarious animation bug, which was absolutely hilarious. I was dying laughing. But this is where it would go, and that's really what would be used more over time. Then, of course, we have the infamous squadding up chat. We've had this for quite some time, and as obviously you can do GE wages with this, you can do normal wages, you can look for buddies, and this is why Harry and me always try to encourage people to join the Discord. We're always happy to have new people coming in, and we're always happy to have new people who are willing to squad up and everything. But obviously, the only way to get into this is to press an @ here, which is a simple Discord command, and this will alert anyone who is currently online to the fact that you want to, well, you want a squad mate, and this could come in handy for later down the line. No mic chat, self-explanatory. I don't really need to show that. Then, of course, we have memes, which we're planning to move this. Well, at least I am. I haven't really switched my mods yet, or my moderators yet. We're gonna have a discussion later. But yeah, this is where all the memes go, and then obviously this is moderator section, which I'm not going to show. And as you can see, we've just had a new arrival. But if we just scroll up all the way to the top, which it's quite a long way, as you can imagine, server's been rather busy, but and also my internet's been a bit crap, so I do apologize for that. But if you look, we made this server on the 18th of January, February, March, April, May. So 18th of May. So that's when we made the server. Obviously, I'll have to answer that in a moment because that's likely the new user joining us and everything. But that's the thing. The server's come along nice. The channel's coming along nice. I'm glad to have more people here. And like I say, if you do want to join the Discord, please do ask me in the comments below and I'll give you links just like this guy here. And we'll go from there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little look back. Although I say little, this video's probably been like 15 minutes long and I've not realized. And I will catch you all on the next one.